Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Main Character with Yasmin. I'm your host. Say it with me. Yasmin. Okay, great. If you said Yasmin or Yasmin, you can kiss my ass. Um, you guys, I'm so hungover. I feel like I smoked 30 cigarettes last night and I inhaled carbon monoxide. I feel so weak. I usually like to wake up in the mornings, go to the gym. It's a beautiful day in New York, and I'm out here in my fucking couch. I'm not even wearing pants right now. I actually shockingly didn't throw up, which is a huge thing because I always throw up whenever I get really drunk. But last night was my birthday dinner and my going away dinner. I have an announcement to make. I I'm really excited to say this. I'm very nervous to come out with this news. And this is a crazy because I feel like I share everything with everyone. Everything in my life is so public. Me sounding like a fucking celebrity. Once again, I am not shit. But I am moving to London. I am moving to London in September. I am going to grad school. I am going to grad school. I am going to get my MFA in acting. Why am I about to start crying? I am really, really excited and happy. And I just can't, can't believe this is my life. For so long, I was like, am I going to grad school? Is this something I want? Is this something that I can see for myself? And I was like, you know what? I'm 4 years out of college. If not now, when? I've used that mentality so much of if not now, when? If I'm not also if I'm not going to go to the best grad school, I'm not going, and I'm going to a really fucking good school with an incredible conservatory program, and it's in London, my favorite city in the entire world. You'd have to be an actual idiot to not know that. I'm that girl who studied abroad once in London, and that was my peak. And I've been coasting ever since. And I'm oh, I'm gonna move back to London, and finally I'm going. And I'm still in shock. I remember getting the email and being like, no, sorry, this can't be true. Nah, that's funny, but no, that's not happening. I literally, I'll tell you my audition program and all of that on another episode. But I'm going to grad school. I'm going to London and I'm studying acting, and I'm really excited. I really deserve this. So yeah. So let's circle back. Let's pivot. So when last night, I was like, I'm going to invite people to a dinner at my favorite restaurants. I love Kiki's in Dime Square is my favorite fucking restaurant in New York. And then I want to go out and dance. All I want is to dance. If they're not playing ABBA, I'm getting the fuck out of there. And then I'm going home. I invited my friends. And also, this is the shit thing about having a summer birthday. When we're younger and we were going to school and your birthday was in the fall or spring, you got to bring your stuff, or you got to bring cupcakes to class, and people would always say happy birthday, all of that. I never had that. I had a summer birthday, and in having a summer birthday is so annoying because yes, it's summer, it's great, but also everyone's gone, everyone's traveling. I invited 17 people to my birthday dinner, 6 came, which I'm so happy about, but everyone is out of town, whether it's in Montauk, Portugal, I'm gonna say out of town, New Jersey, please. But California, everyone's gone. So I'm okay, honestly, I don't even care if it's just me alone. I want to go out to my favorite restaurant and dance afterwards. And I had my incredible friends come, and we just sat at Kiki's eating, and then we went out after and we were just dancing, and it was so great. My friend, we got a cake, and then instead of a candle, because we didn't have a candle, it was a cigarette, and I was like, this is perfect. I felt so loved, and as a Leo, I love things being about me. I'm gonna keep it so for real with you, but it felt so lovely to I don't know, kind of be appreciated by the people you love and admire. It was really nice to be around the people I love and just be hey, Yasmin, we really appreciate you. And I was I don't get words of affirmation a lot because that's not my love language. I'm a physical touch person, but having words of affirmation and having that validation from the people you admire and love is such an incredible feeling. And yeah, it was so fun. And then we went to Joy Face after and we were just dancing. I was and it's all 80s music. And I'm not even kidding. I was meant for the 80s. I am not meant. That's a fucking lie. I'm so meant for this era because I love social media. I love social media. I love hating. I love it. I love lurking. I love it. I love it. Give it to me. Give it to me, Rachel. I mean, I feel like I'm an 80s sun, Gen Z moon. Did that make sense? I have no idea. I feel like I lost a lot of brain cells last night. Maybe it was the poppers. Joking. Didn't do that. But yeah, I had that night. And then last night I come home with my friend at 3:30 in the morning and we're just like talking at this. I'm like, by the way, naked. I'm just sitting and we're just talking about the deep things about like life and like what even is mediocrity? Like what is there something wrong with mediocrity? And like does Hailey Bieber excel in white mediocrity? Like is she a pioneer of this? Is she actually so good at being mid? And I'm like, we're talking about that. And also no shade to Hailey Bieber. I fucking love her. I love Road, but like that was just something that was brought up. And I'm like, I don't know why I was naked just sitting and being like, yeah, no, good, interesting point you have there. It's like, I feel like we could have solved so many world issues if you just put me and my friend on the edge of my bed naked talking while drunk. Like that was literally it was such a good moment. Anyways, I go to sleep at like 4. I wake up at 6. I'm starving. I'm like, someone give me, like, I feel like I haven't eaten in 10 days. Like, I feel like I'm in, like, what's that Tom Hanks movie, Castaway, that he hasn't, like, eaten in so long? That was me this morning. You know when people wake up, like, someone give me water. Someone give me water right now after you're drunk. That's not me. I need food. I'm still drunk at this point. I wake up at 6 a.m. I go straight into my refrigerator. I get 1 egg. I turn on the fucking stove, and I just plop that egg in there. No butter, no olive oil, nothing. And I'm just stirring it. I'm still drunk, half asleep. I'm cooking it. I put it on a plate. I just eat it on like complete darkness. There's not anything. I haven't even checked my phone at this rate. And I'm just eating it. And then I finish and then I just leave it there. And then I go back to bed till 12:30 and I wake up and I'm like, who the fuck made eggs? Me not remembering that I literally made eggs at 6 in the morning. So that's why I don't drink as much anymore. Because then I make because what if I left the stove on all night and burnt this goddamn complex down? That's my departing gift to New York, is burning down a building. Wow. But that's a little update with me. But I'm just gonna talk about a couple things today with you. And I'm gonna talk about leaving New York. I'm gonna talk about my next chapter and how I feel. Talk about going to grad school a little bit later than someone usually would, and my whole process with it, and like also leaving all of my friends and family to a different country. We're gonna get into that today, and I'm so excited to talk about that with you. Why am I acting coy right now? Like, I just really feel like blah blah blah, when that's like not me. But I'm so hungover and I'm so tired, and I just want to kiki with you guys. So let's start back in August of last year. It's going to be a little bit of a more emotional episode instead of my funniness and like current event stuff. Like I don't think, yeah, I don't think I want to be funny today. Also, me saying I don't think I want to be funny today is actually the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life. But I don't know. I feel so crazy. But basically, it was last year in August. I was like kind of thinking to myself, like, I'm moving to New York. I don't have a job. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I know I'm an actor. I know I'm a podcaster. I know I'm a comedian, but I miss the stage. I miss acting, and I've been acting, but I want more training. I want to excel in my craft. So I decided with my family to apply to grad school. And I didn't tell a lot of people, like I said before. I didn't tell them where I was going. And I ended up like writing a bunch of essays, reaching out to old professors of, getting letters of rec, asking my friends who are in grad school for acting, like, what's this process like? It's so intense. Because I know, like I said, if I'm going to pay money for grad school, I don't want to go to a mediocre one. I don't want to go to a mid-level. I don't want to go to an upper level. I want to go to the best in the world. I sound like when I'm saying bleach and tone. Like, I'm looking for like a bleach and tone. I'm looking for a really good grad school program. And I applied to like 5 or 6, and I chose 3 pieces because you're always supposed to come prepared with a song, monologues. One has to be classical, which is Shakespeare or one of the Greek tragedies, or something from like Oscar Wilde time, and the other has to be contemporary. And you should always have more in your back pocket. When choosing my monologues, I wanted something Arab. When choosing the pieces that I wanted to perform for, these professors and these head of programs, I wanted to represent me in the most authentic way possible. And I knew the only way to do that was to bring my heritage in there. So I looked long and hard for an Arab play. And there are many, but a lot of them are not really telling the experience I've wanted to tell for a while. And I'm like, do I write my own piece? No. But I ended up coming across this play by Heather Raffo called 9 Parts of Desire. And it's about in the Quran how there are 10 parts of desire usually, and 9 of those are for women. And I think like there's this misconception in Islam that like women are so much lesser than a man and men hate women. But I don't think that's the case at all. I'm not even Muslim. Like I think it's like there's so much power with women. It's just extremist religious people in any religion that takes it away from them. So I decided I'm going to do this monologue. And it's about leaving your country for a better life for art. And it's about her painting nude women and like nude bodies. And I was like, this is just so special. And this other one was about like getting high off infidelity and all of that. And then the third one was a piece from little old William Shakespeare, from Cleopatra. And Cleopatra, she talked about Egypt, and even though she wasn't Arab herself, like she talked about the Middle East and Egypt as if it was the most important place in the world. And like, this was her empire. This was her place. And I felt for so long I didn't feel connected to a Shakespeare piece because of that. Because I was like, everything's with white people. Everything. Okay, you have like in Othello, you have one black character. And yes, in his sonnets, you talk about, his love affair with a black woman. But I never really felt a piece spoke to me. And then Act 5, Scene 2 of Cleopatra, I was just like, this is so spectacular. It basically is saying, and I think this is so crucial for what's going on in the world of like people trying to displace native people from their land. And that's what also happened to the US, and I felt so comfortable. I remember I was doing auditions and I could just read the room that I was like, maybe I'll just do my white pieces, which is like the infidelity one and then a little a different Shakespeare monologue from like King Lear. And I went to two schools actually. One of them is the one I'm going to. And I did my Arab monologues, and some of it was in Arabic. And for the first time in my life, I felt so seen. Performing in your native language, which for me it's Lebanese, it's Arabic, was so powerful for me. Because growing up, I never saw or ever read or ever heard the perspective of an Arab woman in theater, in the arts. I've always said this. You see, when you look at Arabs in cinema or in plays, we are the terrorists. We are running through the desert in a sepia lens, running from warplanes, but we are so much more than that. And when I'm doing these pieces about being, for example, Cleopatra or Layal in Heather Raffo's piece, you talk about being the Arab woman that will run the fucking world. You talk about being an Arab woman. We are the matriarch. We are the pillar of our society. And I know the media and I know film and like the industry that I'm investing my whole entire life, my money, my time, my effort, my energy, and my resources to be a part of that doesn't even represent me. And for the first time in a fucking long time, I felt like maybe I'm accepted here. If I'm not, let me disrupt it here. And let me be the change I want to see. Because I'm looking at all these programs. I'm like, you don't have Arabs in your roster. I'm looking at all these agencies that don't have Arabs on their roster. Okay, you have Salma Hayek and fucking Shakira. Rami Youssef, amazing. Love him. But like, I want to be the Arab woman that I never got to see growing up. And wahiyat Allah, I will be that. You can hold me accountable for that too. I'm going to look back on this one day and be like, you really did that. And so, long story short, also, can I just say, whenever I say long story short, honey, my story will never be short. It will always be long. Let's make that so fucking clear from now. But I did these pieces, and then it is so crazy for audition pieces because you audition with hundreds of other people. Like I remember Juilliard, they put you in a room. You're like packed with sardines with other people from all over the world, and you're supposed to like prep and then go right in there and then just leave. And then you wait for like a couple hours and they put your name on a list. Every school, they send you an email for a callback or they put your name on a list. I remember at the school that I was like, I almost went to. It was like such a surreal moment because you see your name on a list at the end of the day after hundreds of people go and it's 3 people and your name's on there. I felt like I was Elle Woods, like singing my name up on that list. Like I was like, you're lying. Like it's so affirming in what I'm doing of like, oh my God, like I'm actually wanted. I'm wanted. Or they're intrigued by me. And it was such a weird process because I feel like when people are like applying to jobs, people who are in STEM or like a different field, everyone thinks it's so easy for acting schools. You just go in, it's fine. But like it is so cutthroat because you're being chosen out of thousands of people and it's like 15. And I mean, I didn't get into schools. Like I was heartbroken after I didn't get into one school. Heartbroken. Well, I didn't get in. I'm waitlisted, but whatever. Which is like worse, I think. But having to be in this industry, having to constantly have no's, slamming doors into your face constantly, and then finally getting some sort of yes of where we want you is one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life. Now, I got in a couple months ago, and I decided I was going very recently. And I didn't tell people. For the reason of I didn't want to audition and then not get in anywhere because that is a very high possibility of like auditioning and then not getting in anywhere and then you're gonna have to reapply again. Like that is so common in the acting field, and I literally was just like I need to do this now, and I got it, and I'm like so happy, and I'm moving to London, which is crazy and such a great program, and the people there, like I've always loved London, and I'm excited for it, and it's weird because it's like I just moved to New York. I'm just starting to fall in love with New York. I'm literally looking at this city for the first time in so long, not even so long, like for the first time since moving here, that I'm like, this city is mine. Like, I actually feel so me here. I literally last night wore like a little I Heart New York shorts with my tabbies and an I Heart New York bedazzled, tacky, cheeky fucking hat. And I was like, this is my ode to New York because I've wanted for my whole life to move to New York. For my whole entire life to move to New York, and I did that. Nothing stopped me. All I wanted was to live in London. I'm going to do that. Nothing's going to stop me. And it's interesting because I'm leaving to California this week. I'm going home for a month. And I am going to be with my family. I'm going to be celebrating my birthday there. I'm going to be with my friends. And it feels weird that I like in just one short month, I'm going to be starting a new adventure in my life. I feel like for the last couple years, I've just been hopping around from like California, from LA to New York, and now to London. I feel like I've not had one particular place to call home. And I'm also, like I said in my first podcast episode back, like I'm still learning how to go about my life fully on my own. Like I don't know. Like I said, I'm still learning how to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm still in a weird mental place fully. I'm like, I feel like I have so much on my plate, but you know what? What a beautiful thing that is because now I get to eat. I get to eat all that. Anything that's on my plate, I'm eating. I'm literally eating, you guys. And I'm excited about that. And I just feel like New York was really tough in the beginning. They always say New York, like people are mean here. I don't think they're mean. I just think they're real and honest. I became independent in New York. What New York has taught me is to advocate for yourself to strangers, to family, to friends, to lovers, and to yourself. When someone bumps me on the fucking street, I'll look back and say, watch where you're fucking going. If someone pisses me off, I'm going to say how I feel. If I like someone's outfit, I'm going to compliment them. If I fuck up personally, I'm going to hold myself accountable. LA, I feel like I could kind of get away with anything. Does that make sense? Like in LA, everything's like, there was no fights. There was no disagreements. Everything was so like, keep the peace. But moving to New York has taught me to be so for real, to be so honest with how I feel, with everything in life. And that is an attribute I don't think I would have learned if I stayed in LA. I don't. because I feel like in New York, I've had to advocate for myself. If someone's cutting me in line, I'm going to fucking say something. It's not even about being confrontational. I think it's about putting yourself where you need to be, and that is first. Period, point blank. And I've been doing that for the last couple of months, and I feel so myself. My parents were like, for the first time in a long time, we see you as Yasmin again. I feel like I lost myself like when moving to LA for a little bit. And I love LA. Please, I'm never gonna shit on LA. Like I love LA, but I didn't have that there. And being in New York, also living alone, I've had to be okay with being alone, especially in the last couple of months where I'm like not FaceTiming as much. I'm not, on the phone texting as much. I'm like going to bed alone and like with silence. Like I'm even turning off brown noise because I'm trying to be okay with silence. I'm not listening to as much music because I'm like, why do I always have to have stimulation going around me? Why do I always have to have my mind working? Why can't I just be okay with complete silence on my own, being with Yasmin? Why is that such a scary thought? And what New York taught me was, at the end of the day, you're going to have no one else but yourself, so you might as well get used to it now. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I woke up hungover this morning, like I said, and I was like, I'm going to do the fucking podcast. And then I'm going to spend the rest of my day alone. Is that how you want to spend the last one of your last days in New York? That's exactly what I want to do, actually. I'm starting to fall in love with me. And I think New York taught me that, to really love myself. I'm literally looking at my fire escape right now and I'm like, my God, I've dreamt of this my whole life. And at the fact that I could do this for myself, just imagine what I could do for myself. It's so interesting. I like look at the people around me and I'm like, you are so powerful. Like I look at my friends, I look at the people in my life and I'm just like, look at what you've done for yourself. So many good things. And I praise them for that. And I admire that about my friends, that they're like, if they want something, they go and do it. And I forget to sometimes praise myself for that because that's exactly what I do. I've learned to love myself. In New York, you have to love yourself or you're going to get eaten alive. I've realized that I don't need to be liked by everyone. There are some people who we were friends when I first came here and like we'd hang out and they fucking ghosted me. And I'm like, you know what? I like was like spiraling. That's some mean girl shit, blah, blah, blah. Where I'm just like, you know what? Genuinely nothing to do with me. They don't like one thing about me or like they don't want to like kiki with me. They don't want to. That's fine. How someone else feels is none of my fucking business. And New York, I'm going to say New York taught me that. New York taught me like, but it did. I don't care if people don't like me anymore. I am so done with people pleasing. I'm so done with it. I feel like I've gotten more rough a little bit. Like I've gotten more like not even rough, like tough. Like I used to always be sensitive about every single thing in my life, which I still am. And that's something I can't take away from myself. I will always be sensitive. I will always cry if something touches me. Not like physically touch me, but like emotionally touches me. I will always be empathetic. I'll always want to hug someone if they're sad. If someone starts crying, I'm going to start crying. If you throw up, I'm going to throw up. Like that is the person I am. And I used to hate that about myself and I need to just accept it and love it because my God, what a feeling it is that I get to feel what other people feel. I'm an empath. I'd rather die than say that. Let's be so fucking for real. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I've gotten, it's not even in a routine, but I feel like I've gotten to a place of like I'm the center of my world for the first time in a very fucking long time. And and I think New York brought that out of me. I'm going to miss the dogs. Everyone has a cute little fucking dog here. I'm going to miss walking around and just like, if I'm hungry, going to a bodega on the street and not having to like drive an hour to go get it. I'm gonna miss going to like my little like mom and pop grocery store near my house and like getting a rotisserie chicken to meal prep. Like I'm gonna miss my gym that I go to and I say hi to the front desk people at 6 a.m. and they're like, morning, yes. Like that is, and like they're not happy to see me, but I am so happy to see them. I'm gonna miss crying on the streets here and no one batting an eye. I'm gonna miss that. I think this is a new era for me, where I'm learning so much about myself. And you know what they say? I said this from one of the first episodes of my podcast, your 20s are the worst years of your life. And you know what? The older I get, I'm turning 26 this year. I used to hate saying my age. I'm like, never ask a woman how old she is. Ask me. I'm going to tell you. I'm excited for it. I feel like London is going to be something spectacular. And can I just say, being in London, my best friend lives in London. My friends are filming up in Scotland. Like, I get to be there. Like, I fell in love in London with the art, the city, the people there. Like, I'm excited to go to the pub after class. And the fact that I'm saying I'm going to class, like, I'm excited to be like, oh, babe, like, UK, like, oh, say it again. Like, I want to go. And I'm like, can I get a Guinness? Can I get a pint? Like, I want to say fucking, like, I want to be that annoying American girl. Emily in Paris, fuck that. Yasmin in London. Netflix, I'll pitch it. I'm excited for that. I'm so emotional today. I think what I'm emotional about is when I was younger, I used to always dream of this. Like, I used to always dream of being an actor, making people laugh, having a platform, speaking up for my people, speaking up for what's right, learning how to do things with my art, going to grad school. Like, literally, that was a dream of mine. Studying acting was a dream of mine. And the fact that I've worked damn hard to do it and get to do it. Sorry, I'm so emotional. I think I'm just because I'm hungover, but I'm just so proud of myself. And I know people are gonna be like, "Why are you like you're being fucking cocky right now? Stop it, stop it." But you know what? I'm gonna just take this for a second and be cocky for a second. I'm not cocky. I'm just giving myself flowers because I'm really fucking hard on myself. And going back to the people pleasing and thing, and like I've lived for other people my whole life. When I was younger, in elementary school, I used to let people bully me, and I lost all my hair at one point because I was so stressed. I used to have to put egg yolk in my hair for it to grow back. Like, that was like one of the natural remedies. And because I was so young, they didn't want to put medication. I remember before every shower, my mom and my aunt would like crack in a couple eggs and then just put it in my hair, and I would just sit for like 20 minutes because I lost so much because I was bullied and harassed by the teachers. They called me names. I remember one day, actually, I'm going to wait for the story, but little did that girl know, that girl who had egg yolks in her fucking hair sitting while she was balding at like 9 years old. Like, look at her now. God, if I could give myself a hug, I would, like back then. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was in elementary school, I wrote a play, and it was Jack and the Beanstalk, the remix. I wrote it. I wanted to perform in it. It was for the school talent show. I was in 4th grade. And I remember writing it. It was like 12 pages long. I was like, I am an artist, Oscar Wilde too. And I presented it to my teacher. I presented it to her and I said, I would like to put this show on for our talent show, and I'm really excited by it. She comes and she reads it. She then walks over to me, that bitch ass, looks at it and goes, "This is trash," and rips it up. I'm in 4th grade. And then she proceeds to put it in the trash, not even the recycling. And I want to look at that teacher who said that to my 4th grade self and say, look where I am now. Look at you. I'm going to grad school in London for acting, and I also have to write for that too. Where are you? Literally, I've always thought about, like, I can't wait when I win my Oscar to be like, this is for you, mama. You literally said I was not going to make it anywhere. And like the fact that a teacher would even say shit like that to a young person is so crazy to me. But I'm like, damn, people didn't fucking believe in me, and look at me now. Leo season is going crazy right now. I feel like I'm actually like, why am I so up my own ass? But like, I get to be. Sorry, today I get to be. And I'm okay with that. So yeah, it's my last couple of days in New York City. I have to do laundry. I have to clean. I haven't washed my hair in a week. And it still looks good. And I'm going to be so for real. I'm just excited for life right now. I'm scared. I have no idea what the fuck's going to happen. But you know what? Let's go. I'm excited. And I'll say it once and I'll say it again. If not now, when? So let's fucking go to London. All right, guys, that's like it for the episode today, because I have no idea what else I want to talk about, because this has been on my mind for so long and I've not told people yet. So that's that. The cat's out of the bag, baby. Anyways, love you all. I'll see you next week. And remember, you are the main character. Enough with the supporting role bullshit. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Oh, I'm going to throw up.